We are going to be doing a big swatch party of the new single shadows that are coming from Oden. 2 full palettes, including also the palettes themselves, are new releases coming from Oden. I've had them here for a bit, and I'm actually pre-filming this video a little bit because I had some time to do this. I thought I'd sit down and show you because these look very fun, and I love myself some good sparkles. And also, spoiler alert, we have some mattes this time. Matte singles, and I'm a matte girly and I cannot wait. I don't have a release date for these as I'm filming this because all I know is that they are announcing them today, the day that you're seeing it. That's the only thing that I know from this release. I do know the prices of it though. Actually, I can't tell you the prices, but I will put the release time, which probably will be an exact time because they usually give you a time when these are being released. I will put that down below. But they're releasing single shimmer shadows, which are $6.90 each. They're releasing single matte shadows, which are $5.90 each. And then they're releasing single multichromes, and these are going to be $14.90 each. So more special shades. Usually these are with more special, expensive pigments, so that's usually why they're more expensive. I do like that they're actually charging for the shadows depending on how expensive they actually are to produce. I feel like that's a very transparent way of doing it. You can use a discount code and you can get some money off. I always have my discount code, but if you want to use somebody else's code, definitely do that. But if you do make a purchase at Oden, make sure to use somebody's code so you can get some money off. And I know there were some mixed reviews of these shadows the last time. Some people really liked them, some people really loved them, some people really hated them. There were some mixed reviews of these. Me personally, and I will always be honest with you, if you don't like something, I will let you know. And there are plenty of products from indie brands that I've let you know throughout the years weren't my thing. I did not personally have any problems with creasing with these, and I personally don't have a problem with hard panning either, but I never apply my shadows with a finger. I will swatch them with my finger, but then I will always apply them with a brush. I prefer using my own brushes that are specifically made to be able to pick up like more creamy eyeshadows. So I would say if you're interested in this, I would definitely check out different reviews. That is something that I would say with all things. If you are interested in picking something up, unless you know that you are sharing like the opinions or sharing the preferences of that person from before, I would always encourage you to go out and check different reviews. But I can tell you right now, I didn't have any problems with the shadows. I've kept using them since I reviewed them. I still have not personally had any problems with them, but I'm just letting you know that there were definitely some people from the first time that they released, and there were only shimmers and multichromes in that collection. Look at these new ones. They're so beautiful. There were some people that were saying that they were having a problem with creasing. Me personally, I did not, but I just wanted to be transparent and let you know that I definitely did hear some whispers in the corridors about that. I think I'm just gonna swatch them on my arm. Usually when I do swatches, I swatch over an eye primer because I will never, ever, ever do my eyeshadow without an eye primer. So that's just how I usually swatch. But now when I'm swatching, I'm gonna swatch it on my bare skin. I personally do not get the whole I do a one swipe with no primer thing, because you would never do that on your eyes. You would never do a matte shadow one swipe with your finger without a primer on your eye and expect it to look perfect. That's just my personal opinion. If you disagree with me, that's perfectly fine. I'm just letting you know that this time I will just be swatching them as are. I'm gonna start with the matte shadows, I think. And also, I don't have any eyeshadow on today. I don't have any eyeshadow on, so I thought at the end, I'll pick a couple of my favorites and I'll just do a quick look and we can just try them out and see how they are on the eyes. I did have a accident. You can see this one. It had a little bit of a tumble when I took it out of the packaging. Oopsie doopsie. They still have this like lattice pattern, almost a little Bottega Veneta that they had on the last shadows. That is also on the matte shadows. And this smaller palette, you can buy that one separately. It has a mirror. And then the bigger one, same here. You can buy that separately and put them in, and it has a mirror. I personally, and that was not included in the email that I got from Oden, was not included whether or not they're keeping the packaging that they had from before. I will say personally, I loved those single shadow compartments, like the low, just a compact for one shadow in plastic. I thought that one was amazing. I have brought a couple of shadows like that traveling. I really hope they keep that one because I honestly think that that one is great. These shadows are magnetized though, so they will fit in other palettes if you want to mix and match. And also I will say that this palette, of course, is magnetized. So if you want to buy a palette like these are beautiful and put other shadows in there, that definitely works as well. So let's actually just start, and I'll swatch all the mattes. This was a long intro. Did anyone want this long intro? I don't know, but here we are. I think the first one is just a white. Ooh, should I put these out? Okay, let me swatch this white one first, and let me take them out so that we can actually see the names, because I think we need that. Yeah, that's swatching. a white shadow on no primer on my skin is, well, it's still there. I love a white matte. I think that what I'm gonna do, and I can tell you already, this white matte is going into one of those single compacts, and I'm gonna bring this everywhere. Bringing this one to the grave. And just like last time, all of these have Swedish names, so I'm gonna be pronouncing them in Swedish because the owner of Odens Eye is Swedish and I'm Swedish, and this first one is Viggo. The second one is Casper, which is how you would say Casper in Swedish. And this is a pale pink. Oh, I love, this is so smooth. I love this one as well. Maybe we should do like a pale pink red look because there's a red matte as well. This one is Agnes. And this is a peach, and this is what you in English would say Agnes, but in Swedish it's Agnes. That's really pretty. This pink is called William, which would be William, but yeah, that one is William in Swedish. That is a little bit more of a mid pink. That's a pretty color too. And this is the one that had a little bit of a tumble. This one is called, oh, it's Hella. It's a little funny that they named it Hella because that is the palette that I did with them. And also in Swedish, she actually wouldn't be called Hela. She would be called Hel. Ooh, that is pretty. Like a really nice vibrant purple. These are very smooth. Very smooth for sure. I will show you some close-ups of my arm after I've swatched this, and you can see yourself like how they look. This one is like a darker lavender. It's a little bit more, the other one was a little bit more bright. This is Josef, or Joseph, I guess. That's pretty too. Brighter turquoise. This is Anton, or Anton, but we would say Anton. Ooh, now we're getting into bright territory. This dark blue is very interesting. This is a dark midnight blue, and this one is called Elsa, or Elsa, like in Frozen. Oh, that one is very pigmented, very dark. Now we're coming into the red one that I was thinking about. This one is called Linnea, which is actually the name of one of my relatives. Very nice, bright red. I love a red like this. Nice. And this is a brown one. It would probably fit really well with these pinks and peaches. And this is jord, which is not a name. It's just a Swedish name for soil. It's a little weird that they are doing names on some of them and then just like soil. Nobody's named that, I think. And if you are, I'm sorry. I don't think anyone's named that. Oh, I love this name. This green one, it's like a darker pea green. It's called Ebba, which is a really cute name. And that is a very cute shadow. Ooh, I like the undertone of that one. It is almost murky, but it's like a little too bright to be murky, but it's like it's right up there. And the last matte shadow is called Beauté, which I actually have never heard. I don't know. I don't know. That might be another kind of a name, but like Bury or Buri, I actually don't know. I wouldn't say that I'm like an expert at the Swedish language, but it is definitely my native tongue, and I've never heard that. Beauty. I don't know, but it is a beautiful green. So let me show you some close-ups. We're gonna get into the shimmer shadows, and for these I'm gonna swatch them, but then I'm gonna do proper swatches on my arm so we can see it a little better. I just thought for the mattes it didn't really like matter because there's no shifts, they are what they are, and I feel like just from touching the mattes, I will say so far, we'll see at the end when I use them, I feel like they're the same Odens Eye formula that I personally really love. So these are the shimmers. This is Freja, which I think that Karen will appreciate because she named her daughter that. This one is very, very creamy. And this is an iridescent shade for sure. This is one of those that it's very creamy. If you pack this on, there's definitely a risk that this is one of those shades, like some of the Adept Cosmetics shades. I'm not saying that they're dupe, but like they're so creamy. You can see there's a little shift to this one. It's a purple to a green. It's a duochrome. It's a purple to a green. It is so creamy that if you put it on, it might crease. And some of the Adept shadows do that for me as well. But since it is so creamy, I can just tap it out and it clears out. This one definitely is a lot more creamy than most of the Oden's eyeshadows that I know from before. But I think you can see here. Yeah, it's like a purple. I will try and do a little over here so you can see as well. But this is like a purple to like an almost like bluish green duochrome. Really pretty if you like iridescent shades. That's actually really impressive for being like, is this a shimmer? I feel like this should be one of those more special shades, but no, that's a shimmer shade. Next one is Albin. This is also seems like a duochrome just looking at it. Yeah, this is one of those pale, like rose gold to like more yellowy gold. I think you can see it's like a rose gold to like more yellowy gold. This is one of those duochromes that is like a more a neutral duochrome. If you want to have a high impact shade, but you don't want to have like a super bright color, that could definitely be the one. This one is Moody. And this is more like a peachy undertone. Ooh, that is very high intensity. Wow. That is extremely high intensity. This is a pinky peachy. There's a slight, okay, this is like a peachy rose gold, but there's a slight pink shift to it. So it goes from a peachy rose gold to a pinky rose gold. Very, very opaque, very impressive. Again, if you like neutral shimmers, that could be for you. This is Sol, which is a very vibrant gold. Sol is the Swedish word for sun. I think it comes from a Latin word in the beginning. You can see it's an orangey bright yellow. This one was one of the shades when I opened it. I was like, ooh, it's like a, oh, it's called Idun. Idun is also a Norse mythology goddess. So this is Idun, and it is like a pale lavender with a slight pink sheen. You can see there's a slight pink sheen to it, to the lavender. These are nice. That's cute. This one is Nanna, which is a nickname both for a grandmother and for taking a nap. You're going to Nanna. That's really cute. That is a brighter purple. This is more like a frosted pastel-y lavender, and this is more of a like a more brighter lavender. It has a little bit of a gold sheen to it. All of these shades have a slight shift to them. Here's one that has like it's like the blue-green, blue-brown pigment from MAC. This one is called Sif, which is also from Norse, a name that comes up in Norse mythology. I don't remember whose wife she is, but she is like, either she's a goddess or she is a wife of a god in Norse mythology. And you can see blue to green, duochrome. These are impressive. And these are the more affordable ones. This is Nils, which is a guy's name. And this is like a more foresty green. This one feels, I don't want to say drier, but it's not as emollient as the others. Had to pick it up a little bit more, and you can see there's like a little bit of a brown shift to it. So it's almost like moss, like a browny green kind of a thing. So that is Nils. This one also looks incredible. This one for a smoky eye, this is V. This is like a pewter, and there's so much like multicolored sparkle in here. Oh, that is so impressive. There is so much multicolored sparkle going on, like purple, blue, gold, in this like pewter metallic. Almost like a plummy brown. There's maybe like a purple brown. This one is called Saga, which is a name that also means story or like fairy tale. More like fairy tale, I should say. It's a really sweet name. You can see it's almost like a little bit of a warmer, like purpley brown. Here's another shade that really draws me in, and this is a bright peach. This is Oscar or Oscar, but we would say Oscar. Oscar is one of those names that a lot of our old kings was called. It's one of those king names. Wow, that is a very bright peach, and it has a little bit of an orange shift to it. Oh, you can see it here. It almost goes from a peach to an orange. That is... I love that. And the last of the shimmers is this like purpley... It's like a purple brown, almost like a chocolate purple. That makes no sense. It's called Bragi, which again, it's probably an older name. Could be like mythology based, but look at that like dark chocolatey purple. Wow, there is definitely some duochrome going on there. You see the brown going to the purple, and there's almost a little bit of a golden hint to it. That, as a smoky eye, shut the front door. That is a very impressive, yeah, with like a little bit of a gold duochrome in it, and this is like chocolatey base. That is so nice. Okay, let me show you some like more cleaned up close-ups. Now we're gonna go into the special shades, and like I said, I did swatch the ones that were in the previous collection as well. I will leave that video down below as well in case you are interested in seeing what those were as well. Because like I said in the beginning, I personally actually did really enjoy those, and I will also put some chapters down below. You already probably saw that, so that you can jump back and forth in case you want to see some swatches again. I'll try and make it as easy as possible to go back and use this video as a reference. That's what I'm trying to say. So this first one is called Elara. And these first 6 ones are gonna be more iridescent ones, which I love. Those are my favorite like singles to use from indie brands. This one is a little bit more flaky. It definitely has like a green to a gold. Oh, it feels incredible. So this is one of those very intense green to gold to bright peach. You see the bright peach? Like, look at that. Wowza! Very intense. A little flaky when I picked it up, but super smooth as soon as it touched the skin. Next one seems like a green to a purple, and this one is called Luna or Luna. Yes. Oh, it's a pink to a purple to a green. I think this is going to be a little bit more sheer because that is usually how the purple pigments are. I don't know why. I just know that that is how it is. But yeah, you can see pink to purple to green. These are very impressive. Here's another one. Oh, I'm tearing up. It's Angelica. It's my name, and they even spelled it the way that I spell it, which is not the normal way. Because I spell it with a C, and normally it's spelled with a K, and I spell it with a S. Aww. Not me having to take like an actual break because I was tearing up too much. So this is Angelica, which is my name, and that is how you pronounce my name, Angelica, and it is spelled the same way as I spell my name, and it is so smooth. It is. Oh. That is a pink to a peach to a green. You can see, oh my god, can you see anything? You can see they're both green, but you see this one ends in a pink and this one is more of a straight peach. That's so sweet. Thank you for naming a shadow after me. I don't know if you did, but I will say Angelica is not a very common Swedish name and I'm very grateful. Thank you. Thank you for doing that, even if you didn't do it for me. It made me feel very special. That's very exciting. I had no idea. That is actually crazy. I'm gonna tell my mom. This one is not a typical Swedish name. This is Zoe. There are definitely people in Sweden called that, but it's not a typical Swedish name. This is more like a purpley blue. Yeah, it's like, you can see it's like a purple, but when I look at it here, it's like a peachy pink. This one has a lot of things going on. You can see, can you see? There's like a gold and you see the purple, but I see a pink. So it ends in a pink as well. I'll show you some close-ups and I'll show you in different lighting so that you can like actually see it. But yeah, these are fun. This is the Scarlet, which is also not a name that probably people in Sweden are named, but it's not super common. This one picks up much easier. It's a little flaky. It's definitely more on the purpley blue side. Yeah, that's a blue, and I see a bright violet purple. So yeah, it's a pink to a blue to a purple. Very impressive. Like, it's so bright, the purple from the side. It's honestly a little crazy. This one is called Lily, which actually also was a name of a relative that unfortunately has passed away. An older aunt of mine was called Lily, which is like Lily. Oh, I see a pinky green here. Yeah, you see the pink, but there's definitely like a green. More a green to a pink. You can see that there's like, it's like this one and this one just change directions. It all depends on what do you want, what shade do you want to be visible on the lid when the light is against you. For this one's gonna be a pink and for this one it's gonna be a green. Here we have Daisy, which is also not a typical Swedish name, but there are definitely people call that. This is also one of those that I talked about in that first shade. This feels a little bit more creamy than some of the others. So this is one of those shades that might crease because of how creamy it is. I think you can even see. It's almost like a little bit more of a putty creamy shade. And this is a peach and I see a green gold. Loving this peach here. And you can see here, it's a little bit similar to the first one if I'm gonna be totally honest. There is definitely more of the gold here that I see, but I will say this one and this one, they are fairly similar just here. We're gonna see how they look in the special light, but special light, wow, I'm really building this up, but I do prefer the first one personally because of how this one feels. This was also a favorite when I unpacked it. This one is called Grace, which also is not a typical Swedish name. This is one of those like bright, again, pinky peachy ones that I really, really love. Oh, that is so pretty. This is one of those, again, it is the green going to gold, going to pink, but this one has a base color. This is not, you can see here, it has a little bit more of a base color, so it's gonna look a little bit more intense on its own. And I personally really like that in some shadows when they have that base color. I think this one is really, really stunning. So this is Grace, and you can see it's a brighter pink here because there is just a little bit more like pigment to the actual shadows, not just the topper. And the last one in this first roundup of the special shades is Oden, which is how you would spell Oden, but in Danish. So this is, or I think Norway too. Is it Norway and Denmark? You're gonna have to let me know, my Norwegian and Danish and maybe even Finnish viewers. How do you spell Oden in your country? Because in some Nordic countries, they will spell it with an I, and in some Nordic countries, they will spell it with an E. And technically in Sweden, we spell it with an E, but I think it's pretty funny that they put in the I here. Because of course, Norse mythology is all Nordic countries, not just Sweden, not by a long shot. This is like a pewter shadow, but it has a little bit of a green sheen to it. And I look at it here and it's purple, and it's like a It's like a plummy pewter with a purpley green duochrome reflect to it. It's very cool smoky eye shade. This would be so pretty with like a plum crease and then this on. I think you can see the green here as well, but then there is a little purple going on over here. So let me show you some close-ups of these. That last one is very impactful. I love a good smoky eye. Now we're coming into some of the more brighter and deeper colors of the special shades, and I find it really interesting that there's a couple of like more other names thrown in here, because this is Logan. I don't think that we have that like a Swedish pronunciation of that name, because I don't know if that is like a name that maybe it's like a name that's popular in Sweden by like with kids right now, but at least not when I grew up. That was not a name that was, I didn't know anyone called Logan. This is, ooh, very intense. This is a bright turquoise going to a mint, going to a purple. Like look at that turquoise and a little mint in between, and then that lavender purple. Very, very cool. That's a cool one. Can I also say I appreciate that there are some like male names in here as well, like more male oriented names. Anyone can be called anything, but it's just interesting. This is called Jade. Again, not a name that we would necessarily have in Sweden, but I find it refreshing to see different kinds. This is a little bit similar to the other one. This is a little flakier and also a little creamier. Swatch is really beautiful. This is, again, one of those that are a little bit more creamier. And you can see this one, maybe if I put it here, it has a similar green turquoise going, but it's like a pink instead of the lavender peach. It's more of a pink. But you can see that's like a similar idea, but like a grassy green instead. It's really pretty, but again, this is also one of those a little bit more, a little bit more on the creamy side, just letting you know. This is a very interesting one, but because this seems almost like a red, yellow, green. I love the red in here. This is called Mason, which again, is not a name really known in Sweden. Look at that. I see the green from the side, but like, look at that like fiery reddish orange. Oh, there's even some purple in here. Wait, that is very impressive. This is also a little bit more on the creamy side. Not as creamy as this one, but definitely a little bit more on the creamy side. I am making a mess. That is where it's at, but like you see, there's almost like I see a bright plummy purple. You see this here, that is a bright plummy purple, and it goes to this like green blue. This almost has the entire, it has like everything. I see purple, I see blue, I see yellow, I see green. Everything is going on in that one. That's the rainbow right there. Very impressive. Wow, that's a cool one. Really, really cool one, because it literally has everything. Love, I'm just trying to show you, but I'll show you in close-ups hopefully. This almost is like a magenta red, and it has like a brown golden thing going on as well. Ooh, very smooth, very smooth. Look at that like magenta red, so cool. Wow. Yeah, I see like a bronzy gold, but there's also a lot of sparkle in this one. So this is like super sparkly and pretty, but this is like a bronze going to a bright magenta red, and it is very intensive. That is really cool. There's so much like sparkle, not glitter, but like sparkle going on. This is one of the shadows that looks the most impressive in the pan when you look at it up close, because this one has a like a deeper chocolatey base, but there's so much multicolored sparkle in here. I see red and green, and just there's so much going on in this pan. It is so cool. I'm so excited to swatch this one, because this is the one that looks the most different in the pan, because you can clearly see different colored like sparkle particles in here. It's very it's very different in the pan. And I think the lattice in this like pan also helps with showing the different things that are going on. It's almost like Christmas bauble sparkle, but not glitter, because there's so many. I see red, I see green, I see blue, and you have this like smoky base with you see the plummy red shift, but there is so much interesting sparkle going on in this one. It is a very intensely cool shade. So it definitely is that like plum red bronze gold thing going on, but all that sparkle in here, the green, the red, the blue, it's just different. Very, very different. Here's another one that's leaning a little bronzy red. This one is probably a little bit more like smooth opaque metallic instead of the sparkle. This is more, I picked up too much. This is more like a smooth metallic. The red going to the bronze with the more chocolatey base. But this one doesn't have as much like visible sparkle. I don't mean glitter, but sparkle. This is more like a smooth metallic. Now we have two green shadows. You can't see green here, but oh, you see green there. It is like a bronze to a green. This is also one of those a little bit more on the smoother metallic side. That is, oh, you can see, it is a bright grass green to a warmer bronze. It's very cool. There might even be a little blue on the edge. Like a blue going to a grass green going to a bronze. Oh my god, have I forgotten to tell you the names of these last ones? I got so into swatching them. Well, I did tell you Mason up here, the orangey one. The one that was like the magenta pink is called, oh, that's Loki. Which in Swedish actually would call Loke. But that is more the international spelling. This one, the one that was like the Christmas bauble, this one is called Matthew. This one right here. I mean, I popped up the names while you were seeing the shadows, but I thought I'd say it anyways if we can find something fun. Oh, this is actually the name of a relative, Theo. It's very common in Sweden to, well, Theo. It's very common in Sweden to not name your kids a name and then give them a nickname. I know the American way is to be Matthew and then be called Matt. And you would like even introduce yourself as Matt. But in Sweden, it's actually kind of common to name your kids the nickname. And I have a relative that's called Theo. Instead of Theodore, he is just Theo. Like not actually having the longer name. And then this green one is actually called Carter. The greeny gold one. Now we have a bright green one, and this one is called Aiden. Again, not a Swedish name, but who doesn't remember Aiden from Sex and the City? This is also one of those more scarab, like, this is more prominent blue to a green. And you can see, this is a blue to a green, and it is also a little bit more golden on the edge, but like, look at how impressive that is. Very, very impressive. And this is also one of the more smoother formulas instead of the sparkly. And last one is Wyatt, which again, very much not a Swedish name. It's a little bit of a cowboy name. At least me, as a Swede, I see Wyatt and I think like cowboy name. Probably because I never met a Wyatt in my life. But this is like a turquoisey purple blue. Ooh, that is this is super pretty. This is half creamy. Not as creamy as some of the ones we have had, but it's a little bit more on the creamy side. This is not one of those super opaque. It's like one of those that if you want it to be opaque, you're gonna have to build it up. You can also shear it out to be a topper. And you can see that is a blue purple mint shade. That is pretty true. And it's like, it is a blue as well, so it starts up like blue, purple, going to mint. Very, very impressive. That's a fun color to have on the lid if you like having more mints or blues or purples in your crease. That would be so pretty with either one of those. Okay, those were the shadows. Let me show you this close-up of these as well, and we can choose some shades and do an eye look. I mean, clearly I need to use Angelica. That was not my initial plan, but now I need to. So I really was interested in doing like pink, red, I think this pink too. So the two pinks and the red, and I think we're gonna do that still, but then we're gonna use the shadow that's called Angelica on the lid, and we're gonna see if we wanna use a darker shimmer too. But I'm gonna start with the red. I'm gonna do a simple eye look. I have a green top on and yellow earrings. I am gonna be full on carnival, but that is okay. I'm just gonna do something simple, and we are just gonna see if this is like a good quality or not. So I'm just gonna put this out here. The red, something like that. And I'm gonna do the pink and the light pink and the same under the eyes, I think. So now I'm using that pink that was the more mid-tone pink, and we're just gonna put that next to this one. Not that high up. Everybody calm down. I'm gonna blend out the red with this one too. Or maybe not. Actually, you know what? I might not. And then that pastel pink, the very light one, we're gonna pop that in the inner part. I'm gonna clean off this brush that I used for the pink, and I'm just gonna gently blend a little bit on the red here and just soften this edge. You see, I used the exact same colors under my eyes. And so far, I feel like this is really nice mattes. I mean, I like working with the Oden mattes, and I think these are pigmented and blendable and opaque, which is what I like. So what I'm gonna do with the Angelica shade is that I'm gonna pick it up on an EO1, and I pick it up like this. I literally do like this to pick it up. You can see it picks it up on the bristles. I am gonna spray this because I already have mattes on my lid, and I wanted to make sure that it sticks. And I'm gonna put this on the lid, but not in the inner corner. And I'm just gently tapping it in so it blends into the crease. And since I don't want the green edge, I don't want necessarily this to turn green because this is not a green look. If I would have put some green out there, it would have made sense. But I think I'm gonna use this one. And I will put the name like on it, but I don't remember the name, but the one that's like a shimmer, but it's that like super peachy one. I'm gonna use that one. Again, I'm picking it up on the brush. I'm gonna spritz a Ruski a little bit, and I'm gonna put that on the edge. And I'm gently blending it in, and then I am gonna go in, and I think I'm gonna use the same brush as I did before, and I'm just gonna, again, go over with the red a little bit to make it all go together. But that is the look. You can see when I come out here, there is still a little shift to it, but not like too much. I wanted to have something simple. I just wanted to try the shadows out. I think this is beautiful. I love looks like this. I mean, I gotta say, I really enjoy how this is looking. I love the peach with the pink and the red. You know, these are my colors. I love pink and red together, and also with the peach. Absolutely love that combo. So I will say, very happy about this eye look. I feel like these shadows are the way that I expect Oden's eye to perform. I really love that they added some mattes. That white one is going into a single compact immediately, so I can bring it everywhere. And I think my favorites are this iridescent row, because I feel like that row is, I mean, honestly, most of these swatched really beautifully. I gave you some thoughts as we went, but this row here is the kind of shades that I love to use, the kind of shades that I like to reach for when I do singles. And if you like these kind of shades, those were incredible. So I will leave some more info about this launch down below in case you are interested. I hope this video was entertaining, helpful, I mean, if nothing else, entertaining, and I hope you're having a great day. And I will see you soon again in a new video. Bye!